Hi, my name is Mike Motherway. I'm going to show you a quick demo of the Sapience Manufacturing Hub, or SMH as we refer to it. This will be quick and short. Keep in mind that you can always pause the video. And as always, if you have questions, reach out to me at mike.motherway@pdf.com. So just a slide or two to set this up. The first slide shows an architecture of SMH. SMH is really built in two halves. The top half here is the designer's app. So here, this app is used by integration specialists to create message routings, or what we call orchestrations. So you can capture data from a source application, transform it, and then sync it to a consuming application. Once those are built and tested, you can then pipeline those. We have an internal pipeline that builds and deploys those orchestrations into a Kubernetes cluster, which is shown here at the bottom. So this cluster runs these in containers, and they are scalable and highly available and performant. And so what I'll show you is an orchestration that's designed to transmit data between two apps. The first is S4HANA, the ERP level, SAP's S4HANA, which generates production orders, sends them through SMH to the shop floor, in this case an application called IBM SciView, which is an MES, manufacturing execution system. The MES will do its work, track its WIP through the manufacturing flow, and at each important step in that manufacturing flow, the MES will send us data through the manufacturing hub. We will aggregate that data through thousands of steps in the MES into some aggregated smaller set of data that SAP can handle, and then we will transmit that data back to SAP. So I'll show you this first activity in some detail, and then just a little bit about the second two. So the way that works, let me get my browser here, and SAP. So I've got, on the left side, you can see, once I log in, you can see we've got SciView running on a few nodes here within the IBM cloud. And so once I log in, you'll see we've got a small sort of demo instance of SciView with some demo data, not from any particular customer, but I think reminiscence of a wafer fab. So hopefully that will log in shortly. And you can see this is running in IBM Cloud, and if I just go to the resource list, you can see what that looks like. I've got 4 compute resources. So we've got, I think, a couple application servers and a database server and an API. Yeah. So that's what IBM SciView looks like running in their own cloud in this sort of development environment. So that's one app on the left, and the other app on the right, we've got S4HANA, the S22 version here. So I'm going to log in there too. Let me log in, show you what that looks like. Give me one moment. Well, why don't I just let my browser help me out here. Hopefully I can not fat finger the password. There we go. So what I like to show here is the background jobs here. So this is a task that allows us to look at background jobs, and my coworker Candox here has created a job. Gotta move my ugly mug out of the way here to show you that. So here, yeah, we've got a job that's running every 8 hours. We create a production order that's consumable by the MES, and so what that looks like, the latest one looks like this. Yeah, we've got this production order 1001231 that the Sapience Manufacturing Hub will then transmit down to the MES, have that run, and then report back aggregated data. So those are the two endpoints, so to speak. And in the middle here, we've got SMH. So let me log in there and show you what this looks like. So at the project level, so these are orchestrations. We've got a number of orchestrations that we're building and testing to move data between SAP and the MES. And the first one I'll show you here is this create order one. So this is activity 1 I showed you on the slide. So at a very high level, you click topology here, you can see what's going on at the highest level. We're getting this production order from S4HANA. We get a lot ID, generate a lot ID, and then release that lot into the MES. So these sort of 3 steps, and then these are the major components underneath those steps that we've built, that we've configured to enable this route. And so what that looks like at a detailed level here is you'll see what the low-code, no-code user interface looks like. So this is the interface you use to actually build these routes. So you can see this first step here, the production order, where we use these components to set each property that is required, and then at the end we will use the S4HANA API shown here. Expand that a bit, and you can see that we're hitting the S4HANA this URI with all the parameters that have been configured above. And so you can see how you can set up these routes using pre-configured or pre-built components that you just configure with the appropriate endpoints, and this is how you set up a route. So for example, if you wanted to log the result of this, you can just insert a component here, and you can choose from a list of hundreds. So if you wanted to just have a simple log, you can use this. There are a few different types of components. We call camlets. They're very simple, just endpoint only sort of configurations. So the more traditional component allows you to write code or attach a bean or do some more complicated things. But here we can just pick something simple like a log sync. So here we can send this log into a flat file, and so you can see the required configurations here. Looks like there's just one, which is this URI. And so that's a very simple component and a very simple demonstration of how you can add components to an existing workflow. I'm not going to do that here, as not my orchestration, so I don't want to mess with CanDocs here. So once this is built and tested, you can go back and see. You can go back and deploy it to the Kubernetes cluster, as I mentioned. So here, this one's already been built, and here's the container and its tag. The container has been deployed into Kubernetes, and you can see it's requested of, there's one container running, one container requested, one container running. You can scale this out as you need to. And then in the dashboard, you can see some of the specifications for that container, how well and where it's running. So if you recall, back in S4HANA, we had a production order 1001-231. And we can see that move through SMH here just by searching for that order. And you can see that, yeah, at 10:27 this morning, we've got this order, and then the reply, we've got this order running, and we've got a manufacturing lot here, 670. So this is how SMH is used to wire together these apps and send data back and forth. Now, once IBM SciView has aggregated data, and we've gone through some of the WIP, we can go back to our projects list here, and you can see. So, for example, we have this route, which is designed to take. Let me just show the topology here. This is designed to take that MES data on a schedule, and then we're going to aggregate it using our database here. Again, I'm going to move my mug here, and then we post that data to SAP. So this is the reverse scenario, which I mentioned earlier. And you can see this is a little bit more complex scenario, quite a few more components, but it's sort of just the reverse, sort of simple 3-step process. And so what that looks like here, if I open up this code, you can see, so we've got the scheduler where we're pulling data from IBM, we're querying the IBM's database, setting a bunch of properties, and then this is the aggregation part of the route, and at the end we then post to SAP. And so we've got this API management here. And same thing, so you can see how this has been built into a container. That container is running with a replica of 1. It looks like this in the dashboard, and if you look at the logs, you can see, I forget that exact production logs, but yeah, you can see what the data coming back and posting. So this has been This is the aggregated data that is being posted to SAP. So you can see we've got 25 wafers running, no skips or scrap, and then some of the other parameters that have been requested by SAP. So I think that's it. Any questions, again, please reach out to me, mike.motherway@pdf.com. Thanks very much.